Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we are back with another video. 2 in 2 days. I'm back with the daily upload content. If you guys like the content, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to this channel. We are on the road to 100 subscribers, only 19 away until the end of the year. Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button today. We are going to be doing my Week 12 NFL reactions. Thank you, Wyatt's World, for thinking this today. The idea of thinking this. I really appreciate it, and I'm basically going to be doing what he does. Going through every single game of the week, giving you guys my takes, and I think what happened, and pretty much, yeah, we have a lot of games to go through, giving you guys my takes, to see if I was off on my predictions, and seeing how much you guys like the video. So, let's get into it with the first game of the week. We had the Bills and the Lions. Close game. Bills ended up barely squeaking out and winning this game. Just a game where I think the Bills struggled. You can see passing yards. Josh Allen went 24 for 42 with 253 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And Jared Goff went 23 for 37, 240 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Good games from both the quarterbacks. If you go to box score, you can see Josh Allen had a good game today. Jared Goff, rushing wise, Allen led his team with 78 yards, followed by Devin Singletary with 72. Jamal Williams 66, followed by DeAndre Swift with 19. And then the receiving game, Amon-Ra with a huge game, 122 yards, 9 reps, and a touchdown. And McKenzie, Diggs, and Davis also had very good games getting yardage. If we're being honest here, the Lions, I think, could have won this game still. Bills, again, the last 3 games have been kind of struggling. They just squeak out the win, but Josh Allen's been a bit inconsistent. We need to see a bit more consistency from him. But overall, still, Bills take the win. Close game. In my predictions, I predicted the Bills to win by a bit more, but the Lions have been playing very, very good, so I wasn't awfully surprised. That's with the Cowboys and the Giants. I'm not gonna lie, I thought the Cowboys were gonna crush the Giants. It was a lot more closer than I thought it was gonna be. 28-20. Again, another prediction that I got right. Dak went 21 for 30 with 261 yards, 2 touchdowns with 2 interceptions. A little bit of inconsistency from him this game. For the last 2 games, he's been struggling a little bit. I will not lie, he's been struggling the past 2 games, but it's okay. Kale Jones, pretty consistent game, 21 for 35 with 228 yards and a touchdown. But I think the real reason why the Cowboys won is because of their defense. They shut down Saquon Barkley, only getting 11 carries for 39 yards. So he didn't get a touchdown. But overall, I think Zeke and Tony Pollard, 92 and 60 yards, really carried this game. 1 touchdown for Zeke, a touchdown for P. Hendershot. CeeDee Lamb also had 106 receiving yards, and Darius Slay in his first game back had a pretty big game. Kind of a close game throughout the game. I expected more of a blowout, but Cowboys definitely were in control. Good start from the Giants, though. In our last Thanksgiving game, we had the Patriots beating the Vikings in another game that I predicted right. A close game, though. Definitely the Patriots fought hard. I saw from the stats here, Kirk Cousins, 30 for 37, 299 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Another insane game from Kirk. He is just on a different level this season so far. Mac Jones had a really good game. 28 for 39, 382 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. What I will say about this game, the reason why the Vikings won, I think they shut down the run pretty well against New England. But their receiving they didn't really shut down the receiving game. 5 receivers over 60 yards, not the greatest thing to see for them. But again, I think overall, the Vikings, not the best defense, but a very good offense. Dalvin Cook, 22 carries for 42 yards. New England did shut him down there with the receiving. Jefferson, 139 yards and a touchdown. Thielen, 61 yards and a touchdown. Hawkinson, 43 yards and a touchdown. It definitely worked. And it was a good high-scoring game. The Vikings ended up taking it, though. The next game, our first Sunday game of the slate, we have the Browns upsetting the Buccaneers 23-17. And I told you guys, no, I thought the Bucs were going to win this game. But I told you guys, I felt like this game could have been a bit of a trap game. And it was exactly what I said. I thought there was a chance that the Browns could have won this game. And they could have upsetted the Bucs. That's exactly what they did. Went to OT. Very close game. Tom Brady had a good game, 29-43, 246 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jacoby Brissett, 23 for 37, 210 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Inconsistent game for both teams. I thought good job from Cleveland to shut down the Tampa Bay's running game, although I saw a game from Rashid White. But overall, Chris Godwin went crazy for the Tampa Bay receiving. Nick Chubb had one of the best games of his career again, and he's back on that track after that last week. And it was Amari Cooper and David Njoku carrying the Cleveland receiving. Kind of a boring game, but it goes to OT, and Cleveland takes it home 23-17. The next game we have on this slate, we have the Bengals. I told you guys, I don't know, I said the Bengals were going to win this game. I knew it was going to be close. I think the Bengals offense is a little better than the Titans. I thought their defenses are pretty similar. That's why I thought the Bengals were going to win this game. Did not expect it to be this low scoring. I thought it was going to be around the 30 points, but at the end of the day, Bengals still come up with a W. Joe Burrow, 22 for 37, 270 yards and a pick. And a TD. Not bad. Could have been better, though. In the rushing, Samaje Perine had another solid game, and in the receiving, he had a great game as well. T. Higgins went off as well. Hayden Hurst went off. And Tyler Boyd only with 2 rushing for 16 yards. A bit of a struggle for him. On the other side for Tennessee, Ryan Tannehill, 291 yards, 22 for 34. Kind of bad. Just didn't get any touchdowns, but no turnovers as well. Derrick Henry, he got shut down. Simple as that. Bengals shut Derrick Henry down. But the receiving was weird. Derrick Henry, 79 yards receiving. He fumbled the ball at the 1 yard line. Traylon Burks recovers and gets a touchdown. As you can't see in this one because it was technically considered not a receiving touchdown because he didn't receive it to begin with. But a solid game from the Tennessee receivers. Not enough though. Bengals take the game 20-16. Next up, we have an absolute blowout. Dolphins crushed the Texans 30-15. I know it's kind of a close score if you look at this. This was not a close game at all. You can see at the end of the second quarter, it was 30-0. The only reason why Titans came back is because they had a good second half, and the only reason why that is because Tua was out. Tua, 22 for 36, 299 yards and a touchdown. If he would have stayed in, they would have easily won this game even more. Jeff Wilson Jr. kind of got shut down, except he did get a touchdown. And Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Carcraft, Sherfield, and Cedric Wilson Jr. had a really good game. On the other side, Kyle Allen, terrible. 26 for 39, 215 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Rushing game didn't do anything. And Jordan Akins was the big star for the Houston receiving. Houston, I'm sorry, you're probably the worst team in the league right now. Yeah. Next up, we have the Jets. Honestly, here's what I will say about this game. But when I made my predictions, I said that the Bears were going to win this game because I thought Justin Fields was going to be healthy. I did switch over and say that the Jets were going to win this game when Justin Fields was shown as he was going to be injured and out for this game. And it showed that Justin Fields was a main factor. Simeon actually didn't play that bad. 14 for 25, 170 yards, and a TD and a touchdown. But if you watched him play, he actually played solid. He actually played decent. David Montgomery had another good rushing game, and Claypool had a couple of great catches. Not enough, though. They just didn't get enough offense from their quarterback. Mike White. Is he the best quarterback in the game? 22 for 28, 315 yards, and 3 touchdowns. If Mike White can keep playing like this, and Zach Wilson can get out of the club, I think that this could be a really good team. They're 7-4 right now, still in a playoff spot, even though they're in one of the hardest divisions in the game. A huge game from Mike White. Knight had a good game rushing as well as Ty Johnson. Michael Carter just didn't get the action as much as he would have liked to. I think he got injured in the game. Garrett Wilson won a game for him, 5 rushing, 85 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Had a huge game. Elijah Moore also had a receiving touchdown. A game where I think the Bears just weren't in control throughout it, and the Jets ended up winning. Next up, we got the Commanders beating the Falcons at home. For a pretty easy sake, this was a boring game. I think Commanders overall just knew they were going to win, even though the Falcons kept in it the whole time. Look over the Falcons. Marcus Mariota, 15 for 25, 174 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Not the greatest. Tyler Algier has 54 yards, Patterson had 52, and Zychus had 91 yards. He had a pretty good game, but just not a lot of scoring overall for the Falcons. And not as much for the Commanders either. They just won this game because I think they did better. Heineke had a solid game, 14 for 23, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Just didn't throw that much because Brian Robinson had one of his best career games. Brian Robinson, 18 carries, 105 yards, looked really good. And he also did good in the receiving game with two extra 20 yards and a touchdown. Terry McLaurin forced 48 yards also in the receiving game, and Antonio Gibson did well for both rushing and receiving. Boring game, Commanders win. Next up, we got the Broncos and the Panthers. To sum up this game, it was terrible. I mean, I don't know how to say it. The Broncos might be done this season. I think they already are done. Um, Another game where it doesn't look bad stat-wise for Russell Wilson, but look at his completion percentage. And look at the amount of times he's under pressure. Look at the amount of bound throws he makes. He just gets kind of lucky. He just hasn't been a good quarterback this year so far for the Broncos. And the Broncos team looked terrible this year. Latavius Murray had another solid game, though. Give that guy credit, as well as Courtland Sutton. But otherwise, not much to say about their team. You know what? Is Sam Darnold elite? I guarantee you Sam Darnold is trying to make himself look good, and then he's going to have a bad week next week. I guarantee it. Sam Darnold, 11 for 19, 164 yards and a touchdown. It's good, but he just didn't pass enough, and you can't say that one good week he's now the best quarterback on that Panthers roster because I don't know who it is, but I don't think it should be him. And then the rushing, Dante Foreman had 24 carries, 113 yards, along with Chuba Hubbard with 17 carries, 65 yards. Both those running backs did amazing. Foreman especially just could not get him taken down if you're the Broncos D-line. And receiving-wise, DJ Moore had a great game, 403 yards and a touchdown. Just like last year, Sam Darnold, that is his main receiver, and he got him involved. Boring game, Panthers win. Next up, we have a major upset. Did not expect this at all. The Jaguars beat the Ravens at the end of the game as well. What a close game. Good job to both teams. It was a very, very high intense game, a game that was one of the best games of the week in my opinion. Lamar struggled. 50% completion percentage, 254 yards and a touchdown. Lamar Jackson though on his feet, very good. Gus Edwards, solid for his first game back in a little bit. Josh Oliver, solid game, don't know how. Deshaun Jackson, good game, don't know how. Mark Andrews did fine. Duvernay had a couple catches, just not enough for the Ravens. Not enough touchdowns, not enough going on. Well, it's Trevor Lawrence. He had a great game. 29 for 37, 321 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And 0 interceptions. Very good game. JaMycal Hasty, for the rushing, I mean, they didn't really do much. But Zay Jones goes crazy for the Jacksonville Jaguars. 11 reps, 145 yards. Who would have thought? As it's not Christian Kirk, it's Zay Jones. Very good game, though, from Trevor Lawrence. Definitely a very good game. Very big upset there. And we're going to go on to a game that was also a very, very close game. We had the Chargers and the Falcons. I said Falcons like it was the Falcons. It was the Cardinals. What am I talking about? Pretty quick explanatory for this game. A very, very interesting game. Cardinals led up early. Cardinals got ahead early. Chargers slowly made a comeback in that third and fourth quarter and took it to them. Herbert, really good game. 35 for 47, 234 yards, 3 touchdowns. Even though he's been very inconsistent this year, he still have had those insane games. And he definitely is still a top 7 quarterback in the league. Herbert, 4 carries for 38 yards. Also, DeAndre Carter had 7 reps for 73 yards and a touchdown. Austin Eckler, 11 reps for 60 yards and a touchdown, continues to produce. On the Arizona Cardinals side, Kyler Murray, 18-29, 191 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Not a bad game at all. James Conner went off for the 120 rushing yards, and DeAndre Hopkins had 87 yards and a touchdown. Close game, very exciting game. Chargers win it out narrowly. The next game we have is the Raiders at the Seahawks. Wow, wow, wow. What a game. Pretty much this was an absolute shootout from the game start. You see the quarter off in the top. 7-10, 17-10, 3-7, 7-7, 6-0. What a game it was. At the end of the day, it's simple as this. A really good game, but Vegas just outdid the Seahawks. Carr, not the greatest game, but he still did well. 25 for 36, 295 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. For the rushing, Josh Jacobs, 33 carries, 229 yards, and 2 touchdowns. What a game. Also, they're seeing 74 yards. That's a total of over 300 yards. Total yardage of the game. What a game for Josh Jacobs. He is without a doubt one of the best running backs in the league. And he showed it with an insane carry in overtime to win the game for the Raiders. Davante Adams also had a solid game, and so did Matt Collins. On the Seattle side, another great game from Geno Smith, 27 for 37, 328 yards, two touchdowns, and one interception. Kenneth Walker did have two touchdowns, but overall, I think the Raiders definitely did shut him down in that game. But he did get in the end zone two times. And DK Metcalf, another good game, 11 rush for 90 yards. Tyler Lockett had 368 yards and a touchdown. Again, don't need to say much about the Seahawks. They had a great game, but unfortunately, it went out for a duel, and the Raiders took it home. Next up, we got the Chiefs and the Rams. I'm going to keep this one pretty simple. The Rams lost, and they are not a good team anymore. They're not starting Cooper Kupp. They're not starting. They didn't have Darrell Henderson this game, and they're not starting Matthew Stafford. It's over. Another player didn't start. Allen Robinson. Just not to look at that side. I mean, Perkins did bad. And Jefferson caught a touchdown, but not much yardage. On the Chiefs side, Mahomes 27 for 42, 320 yards, touchdown, and interception. Not the greatest game, but at the end of the day as well, not facing the best team, some mistakes will happen. Pacheco had a solid game, 22 carries for 69 yards and a touchdown. And Travis Kelce keeps up his crazy year that he's been having as well as Marquez Valdes-Scantling. Pretty easy to say, Chiefs definitely won this game pretty easily. And my Niners are going to shut out the Saints 13-0. Here's what I'll say about it. This is my Niners team. We could have played a lot better. We could have played a lot better. Yes, defense played amazing. Defense played great. Happy with defense, but our offense struggled. Jimmy Garoppolo, 26 for 37, 222 yards, and a touchdown. He had a couple of bad throws, though. And our rushing game just didn't get it going. McCaffrey, 11 carries, 32 yards. Mitchell, 7 carries for 35 yards. Hopefully you get better, Mitchell. 6 to 8 weeks is injured if you get to hear the news. So sorry for him. He just can't catch a break. Unlucky. In the receiving game, Ayuk. Jennings had a really solid game. Again, just kind of was like unheard of this year so far, except for last year. That's the only thing you could remember him for. But yeah, he's been great. He's been absolutely outstanding this game, and just not enough going on. But defense did really good. I'm happy that defense played, but offense needs to get cooking a bit more. But we are 7-4 now, definitely in contention for a Super Bowl. And the Sunday night game, what a Sunday night game it was. We have the 8-1, 9-1, now 10-1 Eagles facing which was the 4-7, now the 4-8 Packers. To keep it short and simple, what a game this was. It was an absolute shootout, just like the Seahawks and Raiders game. Aaron Rodgers did get injured. Hope he feels better. But Jordan Love came in and actually had a really solid game. Little bit of inconsistency for Aaron Rodgers. A.J. Dillon had a touchdown. Aaron Jones did good in both the rushing and the receiving game. And Christian Watson keeps up his insane year that he's been having and is showing that maybe he's the new Packers number one wide receiver while Romeo Doubs is out. Jalen Hurts had another solid game, 16 for 20, 153 yards, two touchdowns. Also on his feet, 17 carries, 157 yards. Miles Sanders, 21 carries, 143 yards, and two touchdowns. And Gainwell with a touchdown as well. The rushing definitely worked for Philly, and they worked well. They're one of they basically rushed all over the Packers, and it definitely didn't even stop. And on the receiving game, not the craziest game, but Devontae Smith had 50 yards, A.J. Brown with 46, and Quez Watkins with 35. Close game. It was a shootout. Eagles end up taking it, though. And your Monday night game, a game that I called as well. The Steelers are going to upset the Colts. I wouldn't consider it an upset anymore. Both teams are bad. I just felt like the Steelers had a better week last week, and I thought that they were going to keep it going. Pickett did solid, didn't throw any picks, but didn't throw any interceptions. Benny Snell had a touchdown. Najee Harris still not looking the greatest, but he still had a touchdown. Pickens looked solid. And on the Colts side, Matt Ryan, inconsistent. Jonathan Taylor was good. And Woods, Pittman were the two wide receivers definitely for the Indianapolis Colts receiving. So as you can see from this week, it was quite an interesting week. A couple of big upsets, like the Jaguars and the Steelers, and a couple of interesting games that happened. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys like these NFL week reactions, please leave a like and subscribe. I do my best to post as often as I can. If you guys like me keeping up with the daily content, please leave a like. That's how I know that you guys like to see it, and I'll keep posting it. And I'm gonna go get off this thing edited and gonna get it going so you guys can watch it on time. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.